Great.
Also here.
I see that. Okay. So we'll just run through the map and again go over things we notice about Nova and then things we notice about how both teams are interacting with each other, like good and bad. The first thing I want to say, just in terms of what you guys are running, is I don't know why we run double main heal. I don't know why we run on a BAP. It's stupid. There's no reason to do it. It actually is worse because like you're not getting utility out of, say like an off support, and you're actually like one of your healers is not going to get enough healing done to make it worth it because they're not going to be getting their ult, right? Like if BAP is getting all of the ult, then you're not building nano very fast. So there's no reason for y'all to do this. No. Yeah, but I mean, it gets to the point where it's just a waste of resources. Like, you shouldn't need two main heals to keep up your tank. Like, that's just not how the game should work.
Fair point.
Here, I'll turn this way. Okay, so Houdini, why did you come over there?
Why did I come to over there? Because they had the window and I wanted to kite back, but still be part of the fight.
Uh huh. Okay.
It's more of like I know I can't just walk past it, so it's more of like let me come around, take the other angle because because either I peek there and I die, because there's a fucking window in my face, or I hold the corner, or I could go around. And my first thought was just to come around because we still wanted to win the fight there.
Yeah.
Also, with double shield, with Reese with Sig, you don't have to be together all the time, but I don't want to just have Sigma alone the entire time. I kind
Mm-hmm.
of want to stick together, so it's more of like, oh, he's already taking the angle. He's not really being pressured too much. I'm going to take the angle as well, both safety and just to continue the fight.
I do think the off angle helped with that, especially because they're so clumped with how they're
Mm-hmm.
playing double shield. Um, so like with the Junkrat and just everything, you're able to just kind of lay down a bunch of damage from different sides, which forces like the Sig to he can't just cycle his shield with Orisa, right? Like he has to block the off angle, and you guys just shred that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, they're just standing on top of each other. which is really exploitable. Those are good tire jumpers. Yeah, the one that just happened.
This is what I wanted to say though, because unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, let's look about.
Yeah,
Let's look how we feed here.
I was dead. I didn't see this.
Yeah. So Houdini died, right? Which is fine. We push up to clean up the kills. Yeah. Chandras dies. We get too aggressive. Also, where the fuck is our BAP? Did he die too? He did. Yeah, okay. I mean, so we're just stupid. That's what it is. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that
I think the way,
they kill people too.
I think it's the right call that we probably did, like, try and clean up. I think the problem is we tried to push when we were down so many.
Yes.
At that point... Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, she died to Dragon? I didn't even see that the first time.
Yep, she died.
Okay, Houdini died because he pushed in front of his shield.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah.
A little bit stupid, but...
And then, yeah, we just stand in Dragon. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, at this point, like... Clean up that Sig kill for sure. We should get this Orisa kill, but we should get it faster. Like she manages to back up and we try to keep pushing it, but we're not paying attention to respawns.
Yeah, their spawn is much closer to us.
Yeah, so, I mean, we need to, like, either finish that kill instantly or just play... Yeah, just play safe and let our team come back. Because, like, at this point, Orisa and BAP are almost BAP. We'll just be down, like, chunk, if anything. But we just push too much and feed. And now we're not going to take this, obviously. Yeah. Where's their Junkrat? Am I stupid? Oh yeah, he's in front of the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think their squishies are, like, really killable a lot of the time, because they play, like, with the tanks, right? So the spam, having to spam is really good. I probably wouldn't have Genji, though, since they're not super split. I would do, like, maybe a Hanzo, right? Or some other form of hit scan. And the reason for that is Hanzo will help, you know, with the spam more, and, you know, he'll be able to get, like, you know, more consistent kills on squishies. But if you're gonna run a spam like Junkrat, you need your other DPS to run something that's going to be able to consistently clean up kills, right? I think that's you guys' issue a lot of the time, is, you know, you right, like, and you know, if you notice, like, there's a lot of times, a lot of fights and maps and whatever else that, like, you know, you guys are getting a lot of damage and you are getting kills, but you're just not able to clean things up, right? It's because y'all run double spam a lot of the time. And I mean, it's hard to aim projectiles consistently all the time. So, you know, your time to kill is too long, and it gives your enemy a chance to come back because like the people that manage to stall a while. So I would be running a hit scan and a spam, or you know, again, just like something that has consistent damage. Like Hanzo, you know, he is a spam, you know, projectile hero, but he's a bit more consistent, right? Like depending on how good someone is with him. Um, so I do think the switch off of Widow was good, but I don't know about the Genji personally.
Richards has been practicing Genji and stuff he probably hasn't in the past couple times, both in scrims. I don't think he's done it in matches so much, but
Hmm.
definitely when we're practicing, he likes to go Genji,
Yeah,
which I
and
think is
I
fair to have it out. But I think understanding like when he should do it
yes,
is
yeah,
more when it's more when we're gonna talk about it.
for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he should try Hanzo maybe for sure. And I don't mind his Genji at all. You know, and it is good in some areas, especially like because Genji's never played, people are gonna struggle playing against him. You know, but like, yeah, I mean, running Genji junk, it's just hard. Now again, if y'all are running like a Xin, right? Instead of probably I don't know either Honor or BAP. You could have an orb on your Genji or your junk, right? Which would help um, them stay in the fight longer. Because like Bab's gonna have a hard time healing both of those characters, and Ana as well, unless she's a god at aiming. You know, is also going to miss some shots sometimes. So A, it would help your squishies, you know, live in the fight longer. B, you could put Discord right on targets, which means they die faster. You know, so like again, I see no reason why you guys I see no reason to run double main heal. And your argument, Jandris, as well was like, oh, you know, we did it the other day because Guy's so aggressive, but you're not running Guy here. You know, you're running double shield, which is like the most like survivable comp ever. So you're just losing out on so much utility. I also I can't, and you're clearly like you're waiting for Nano Blade, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing a window yet from you guys. Um, so you're not getting any value out of those characters, really. I haven't seen any huge nades. Really, you're just running it for straight up heals, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. So, but anyhow. Okay, Mantis is in a terrible spot, but that's fine. Yeah, Gojo dies. Houdini dies because he's dumb.
Correct.
Is Mantis gonna die because he's dumb? Maybe. They're very good about using their ults to keep momentum up, right? Which is something that you guys struggle with. Yeah. And I think that if you let them dictate the fights with their ults and not your own, you guys are going to struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Rex has always struggled with play for some reason. Like he waits for Nano, then he goes. Which I understand why, but it's better to just kind of go in. Cause
Yeah. It's, I mean... Yeah.
and then and to make sure he's fine, you push in with the blade. It's not just him. Yeah, exactly. I call this out every time. Like, hey, if you're gonna blade, let me know. I'm gonna push with you.
You guys still haven't used window.
No, you're not.
I'd like to know how many windows their BAPs used so far, because I think it's been quite a
At
few.
least 2 or 3.
Yeah. Okay, also...
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Yeah. Okay. How do I get back? There we go. Okay, so we don't immort anything, and our BAP just steps into junk spam. So, that's unfortunate. We're not getting any value out of BAP's kit. It's also the same thing, and I know I'm harping on it, but like, I mean, if your goal, for instance, right, if you're running Genji Ana, and because, you know, you just want to, like, Nanoblade and win fights, having another support that's taking a bunch of your heals as Ana, right, means that you're not building Nano as fast, and you're not going to, like, be able to do the combo as much. Like, I know that they're waiting on it too long anyway, but, like, the whole point of this is that you're just able to blade, like, every other fight.
Genji. Nor did we run people's shield.
What the fuck? Okay. Let's talk about this one.
I'm to be completely honest, I actually thought my bungle was behind the wall, not in the quarter.
Y'all just need to kite this. They use Valk and they use Supercharger. You do not push into that, right? Like, this is something that you guys have to know. I mean, especially like now, you before the window comes out from you guys, like, y'all haven't committed. Y'all haven't even committed, like, you know, positionally, if that's a fucking word. Like, you know, you're still at the corner. All of you just need to go, eh. And just come over to the corner and wait out these ults. Instead, we try to counter with our own ults, but they already have the ults up. Like, their damage is already better than us, and it's already concentrated on one area, and we decide to just waste our ults. We waste Window, finally, for no reason, and Supercharger, which, yeah, it gets destroyed, and both of you guys, you know, get wrecked because they have a fucking Junkrat that's both power boosted and supercharged. I do want you guys to, like, you know, make stuff happen, right? And use your ults, but, like...
Know when to do it.
Yeah, know when to do it. You know, and part of that is ulting first, but also, I mean, like, you can counter ults with your own ults, sure. But you need to know, like, when is a good time to do that, you know? Like, if they bob, like, yeah, for sure, you know, you can, you know, hopefully sleep bob and, you know, pull off a flux or something, right? Or, you know, whatever. But, like, yeah, I mean, not when they use Valk and Supercharger and you guys haven't pushed yet. Like, at that point, it's just, let's wait, you know, 10, 15 seconds. Rather than having to wait, you know, 20, 30, if not more, to respawn. Manta should be shielding that.
We were wondering sure, but I didn't have my shield at that point.
Jandros. Your tires are too early. Oh. Yeah. I know that you're wanting to make something happen, but you need to make something happen when the fight is engaged. No. Be a part of the fight. Like, you are the main source of damage, really, for your team. Like, you need to press your shield, and you need to, like, put damage into them and make them scared, right? And then, you know, when your team's actually, like, engaged, and then the enemies started using cooldowns, and, right? Like, that's when you just break off slightly, and it doesn't have to be, like, a big whole, like, oh, I'm going on this crazy flank all of a sudden. Like, yes, yeah. So, like, you know, for instance, if, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, the fight happens here, you know, and we're pressuring them, they're moving back a little bit, they're kind of scared, they're using some cooldowns, you know, maybe we're aggressing. You just step in here, right? And you just, oh, I know Ash is in here right now, and hopefully y'all deal with that. But yeah, I mean, like, if that's where you are, like, you're just like, okay, I'm helping, I'm helping, I'm helping. This looks like a good time to tire, and boom, I just do it. And now you have cover, right? You're not doing it out in the open like I've seen you do, and, you know, whatever. Like, whenever, I mean, look at the position they're in right now. This is why Double Shield's so strong, because it's about long range poke, right? And that's what they're doing to you guys. That's why you're struggling right now, is because they're doing that, and you guys are just kind of like walking face first into it, and you're struggling. So nothing's really happening. Your team's not able to pressure back right now because you're down Houdini, and, you know, you're struggling. Their Ash has been set up on high ground. Their tanks are over here. You know, they clearly know that you're fucking there. You can see the Sig for like 10 seconds. I watched it, like, shoot in this direction, so he knows you're there. He's just too scared to push you, and you still try to do it. You know? Like, it's all about timing. So, this is fine. Obviously, you guys, I mean, you get the kill on Ash because she's out of position. But I think that, you know, again, Mantis tried to make a play here, which is fine, but now they're windowing again. They dodged too. Yeah. See, like, our Genji shouldn't die there. A, we should sleep, Bob. B, one of our healers should probably, like, try to heal the Genji, but they can't because they're running on a BAP. I mean, what's good is that, you know, you guys used, obviously, a few different ults, like Nano Blade mainly, and then Window back here. And they're very willing to use ults, right? Which means when they are able to get the upper hand, you know, they get it, but they also just kind of wasted some there, right? Like Falk and especially the Sig ult, you know, when like they were already down a couple. Hurt them.
It's good to know that they show some movement for, like, they're still trying to make plays even though they know they've already lost, which we can exploit.
Yes. I mean, and sometimes it's gonna work for them, right? You know?
Yeah.
Like, because if you guys, like, are down 2 and they're down, like, 2 or 3, you know, like, that's absolutely winnable for either side. And whoever, like, you know, better uses their ults there is going to win. So sometimes it's absolutely worth it. But yeah, I mean, you know, in that situation when I think you guys had already, like, you know, killed 1 or 2 and they were like, oh shit, we gotta flux, it's OT, you know, like, that wasn't the call. This is a good supercharger, though, by Psy, right? Like, it really keeps the pressure on you guys. They managed to kill Houdini off of it. That's a good time to ult, Jandros. Because they're pressured. They're looking at your team. It's OT. They're fucking stressed. And you just casually come into this little room, right pretty much near your team, right? You know? But not too far. You didn't take a super long flank. That's a good ult.
I can hear the joy in her voice as she's yelling.
Alright, I just whiffs that, but that's fine. Notice how we're cleaning up kills because we have a hit scan now. That's the thing too. Like, it doesn't have to be McCree, Soldier, whatever. Obviously, if they have a Pharah or something, or it's like a map with a lot of high ground, yeah, like having like an actual hit scan. But even just having a tracer, right, to clean up kills helps.
Initiating match.
You can keep that noted then.
Yeah. All right, let's skedaddle on back to first point.
For battle. Ready for
I mean, the only thing really that I mean, it depends on how long you guys want to be here. The only thing, obviously, that I'm not watching right now is like individual points of view, really, right, from like their side, for instance. I'm just noticing kind of where they're standing, or you know, when they're using ults and things like that. But I don't know, like, you know, who's hitting shots and, you know, whatever.
I will say Baron Ash was very accurate tonight. Even when we pressured him, he was like, you... That he plays a lot of defense.
He also, I mean, notice this, like, he plays up a lot with his tanks, right? Like I said before, they're all very clumped. Like, even their Ashe, no, it's their Ana, yeah. I mean, their Ashe is still here, you know, like, trying to take high ground, but not really in a great position. But yeah, I mean, Junk plays up. Like, he played in front of his shield there to get that kill. I want to know where Gojo was. That's very exploitable, you know, if their DPS or their squishies are gonna, like, push a little bit too far to kind of, you know, get value, right? Yeah, okay. So, Gojo's just an idiot. That's what happened there.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
This is good. I think that we played our angles really well there. We made sure they didn't come in on the right, right? And after we cleared that spot, when they tried to push out, we just, like, kind of collapsed on them from different angles, right? Like, Houdini held the point, and then, you know, Mantis switched over to, like, the left, and Gojo was also kind of...
I was gonna say, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, me and Mantis, I'd say most of the time, especially on A and B here on this point, or in this map, we rotated together, but not on top of each other. It's more of like one goes, if they're not pressured or they need help,
Yeah.
we go together. One person goes up, and like it's a tempo thing. If you need back up, you back up. If you need to go up, you go up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a thing we've been doing. Like it's okay to give space.
Yeah, like, this is good. I like kind of where we're standing, you know. Again, our BAMP, even though they're fucking dying, our BAMP and our, you know, Soldier playing back at range, which is good. You know, again, we kind of come over to block this angle. Jondris is very risky over here, but pulling it off for now. This is a timing thing on when you can get away with this. Just be mindful of your team. If they start pushing you, you know, like, you need to go back to your team, this way, you know, whatever. Like, if you're gonna do flanks and shit as Junkrat, like, inside of them, just be mindful of where you can retreat to. You know, if they push you, I don't want you to freak out and be like, oh my god, what do I do? Right? Like, you just need to know. Just throw and die here, because we don't heal him. Oh my god, he has 1 health. Yeah. Okay, we have visor, window. Wow, what a great combo. Will we use that? Nope, we die to the Junkrat. Oh my lord! Oh my god. That pisses me off.
Yeah, I call him and he's flying up there and no one reacted.
I mean, it happens so fast, but like the thing is, if your tanks are holding back, then you need
Sure.
to hold back, you know? Like, if your tanks are here and are stopping them here, that's one thing if you're up here. But if your tanks are at this corner, then you guys need to hold back. That's just how it is. And your BAP
Yeah.
absolutely doesn't need to be up there.
They're gonna go after the first target, they see. And typically the first target should be a tank, because he can actually take it. Unlike support for DPS.
That's a well-timed tire. And you go back to clearing that area. You're doing a great job right now, John Jones. It's big anti. It's
I'm
good
trying
visor.
so hard to keep the point alive.
Yeah. Alright, we used good ults there to swing that, so that was good. Yeah, we need to be careful playing out of position, right? When they have a junk and things like that. But I liked that we used ults there, for sure. Yeah. They like to initiate with Supercharger, which I think is interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily, right? Like, if you don't have any other ults, like right now, for instance, if like Houdini, like, you know, initiated with Supercharger, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably a good call, because like 3-4 of your people don't have ults, right? But like most of their team has ults, so they're not actually getting any value. Like they're not getting the maximum amount of value out of Supercharger. Because typically you want to use like Valk and Supercharger when, like, last, you know? Yeah, that way we can keep building ults, right? So I'm interested to see, even if they do win this year, I don't know, but I'm interested to see, like, the next fights or two, like, what their ult charge is like when they they start using them, you know, because I don't think they're gonna build them as fast as they could have. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of those situations where I don't think we should have used ults here. I think that they fucked up first, actually, but it doesn't matter because then we fucked up, right? Now I think the original window was good. When they started initiating with ults, like whenever they initiated with Supercharger and we windowed, I think that's good because it kind of, you know, levels the playing field a little bit and it forces them to, like, you know, I mean, we still have to be careful, obviously, because they're still doing a shit ton of damage, but, like, so are we now. So I think that the window was fine. I don't think we should have supercharged because right when we did that, like right before that, we heard the tire, and whenever I hear a tire or a diva bomb go off, I'm not ulting because I'm like, all right, are we gonna survive this? Because if I ult and we lose like 4 people, that ult doesn't matter, right? So typically, if I hear one of those ults, I'm just waiting to see what happens, you know, and I'm helping obviously kill the tire, or helping people survive or whatever. So I think that using both of our tank ults there was the big issue. We just waste them, and they obviously do manage to get picks on us, and then, you know, whatever. They do end up using beat for it, yeah. You know, which is nice. They use a lot of ults there, but so do we, so we don't have the advantage that we could have. I think if we don't use our tank ults there, they probably don't use beat, right? But they'd have beat, and they would have had, Bob, and that's about it, right? And we would have still had both Flux and Supercharger, you know, which we can use to again build our ults, you know, and keep that like that momentum up in terms of like ult management over them. Um, yeah. So I think while we didn't play that right, that's something I'm definitely noticing with them is they are very aggressive with their ults, but I don't think that they're tactical about it. I think that they just kind of do them, right? They're just trying to keep the pressure on you guys, and if y'all can actually be smart and play around that, you can take advantage of that. Because if you look at their ult charge right now, like this is after they use Supercharger, none of them have ults except for Ana, right? Because they already had their ults and they used them and they didn't get that, you know, they didn't get to build them again. Whereas like your team is already like building ults, right? Because even though it didn't necessarily work out, like our Supercharger and our Flux, like we still were able to build like a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, and you notice there, like they already have momentum. They're already pushing you guys back. You guys are actually like, you know, you're just coming out of like the spawn, right? You know, resetting for a second, and they throw Bob in for no reason. That Bob is useless. If anything, it forces you guys to move back more, but you were going to do that anyway, right? So like. I don't think that they're thinking about it. I think they're just like, okay, keep the pressure on, right? So if you guys don't panic, um, I think that y'all will be fine, and y'all can really abuse that and come out with superior ult advantage, which will help. That's a good time tire. They especially because they had just used Nano, right? So Tire and Freeze, right? And obviously there's a few others. Those are great reactionary ults for whenever like they're making like a really aggressive push or they've used like an ult or something because like they've committed to this fight, they're not going anywhere, you know, and that means like there's a potential that your team's in trouble. Like they literally just use Nano and you instantly pop Tire and you get huge value and their team just crumbles. That's a good time tire. That's what I want to see. And you do it from like up top where none of them are. You're not in any trouble, you know. You're still relatively near your team. I think that's solid. And we keep a lot of our ults. So here what I'd be thinking about in terms of like ult management is I probably want to use like window and visor, right? Next time that they push, and which should like again help you build the rest of the way to Flux. Then the next fight I'd use Flux, and then after that I'd use Valk. By the time we use Valk, we'd have Supercharger, which will help build the rest of her ults, etc. And then you just keep cycling this.
Yeah, that's always what I've been trying for, so I figured, you know, that's the smartest way to do. Always have a couple ults online.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and see here they still don't have their ults. There's a lot of downtime between like that fight on first point and, you know, the next couple fights like I thought because they didn't use it properly. Where the fuck? Okay, so this is fucking terrible. I'm sorry. What is he gonna do here? Didn't they know that they'd already moved?
Oh wait, is that what we? I was wondering what we did because I heard it. I didn't know. No,
Look, there's a window. They windowed right here after they already passed. What the hell? And Ritz was.
Ritz has to drop a visor.
They just said go up there in Nano window, and some people said they were like corner. And other people said they were gonna like we're gonna drop down and do it, and nobody discussed how it was gonna be done.
I told him I said I'm. The reason why I say everyone was going up top and I was holding corner purposely to come to me because I know they'd rush me. And my plan, I was talking about this mid fight because I know they were walking up, but like we were still discussing, do it up the stairs because they're coming around. That was my plan, and we fucking do it.
What stairs? Like
Oh,
over
the
here?
stairs in the back because if you look, I'm underneath, and I was pushing, and I purposely did that because I wanted them to push me. Because, you know, they would be too focused on going to me.
So what?
'Cause
Like these stairs above you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking here because look how open it is, and look where I am. That's what I wanted to do. I purposely stayed on point because I wanted them to chase me, and that's what I was thinking. Hey, do it up here on the stairs.
I mean,
Yep.
like,
I don't know. Up and back behind.
that's so risky though.
I don't know. I don't know. Just
I mean,
anything better than what the
honestly,
fuck he
like,
just did.
if y'all want to use it, y'all could have just like, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's so
I'm so
fucking-
flabbergasted by what just happened. Oh man, that just fucked me up. All right, so
Road,
like
man.
I
He
would
tried
hold
his
this
best.
corner, right, and then yeah, I mean you could use it up here. Whenever they start like, if you're really aggressive on the front line and they start retreating a little bit, you could like use it from like this angle maybe. But I don't know. I'd be careful with that because the Junkrat, right? I probably wouldn't do that because of the junk. You know, so like if they're pushing super hard, you could just like put it, you know, back here, right, and kind of stop their push. Or if you want to be fucking, can I go through this wall? I can. Awesome. If you want to be aggressive and do this, you could just do it as they come across the fucking bridge, right? Because like,
Not
where the
right.
hell are they going to go? The answer is nowhere because they have no cover here. So like, there's so many other options you guys had than like, oh, they've already all pushed. I guess I'll do it now when I can no longer see shit. Yeah, this is terrible. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Drone does his best, I swear.
Hang on, I gotta
Poor guy.
go harass them
Poor
about
guy.
this.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think Rich wanted to drop down, but he probably did at the same time, not realizing where they were. So, unfortunately, he had to drop. But it probably would have been smarter to him to have waited first and be like, "Oh,
Yeah, I
fuck."
mean, like, we windowed there, and then Gojo was, like, clearly like, oh, I actually can't see anyone, and then dropped. I don't know. I don't know.
Yep. It was a little bit more than just
Christ.
execution, more thinking, but yeah, that works. Come on, Rich, please.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, if Mantis doesn't die here, right? Let me go back. Gojo's clearly gonna die because, you know, he's way back there. How does Mantis die? Is he just standing here? Yes.
He's just standing there,
Where-
menacingly.
Fucking shit ass. Where's his fucking shield?
He's getting just bopped by an axe.
Yeah, he's just an idiot. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if Mantis doesn't die there and they use Supercharger, I think this would have been a good opportunity to use Flux, right? Flux is also a nice ult to use whenever they're engaging pretty hard because you know, could just lift them and be like, no. So that would have been nice.
I'm still laughing about the fucking window, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, I mean...
I didn't even know where it was. That's actually the first time I saw that.
Yeah, no, I knew where it was.
Yeah, you did not adequately prepare me for that moment.
I kind of forgot.
Okay. So, something else I noticed, like, double shield, right? And both teams do this. So you guys need to stop, and you can capitalize on this. But y'all aren't always putting Orisa shield where you want it to be, right? You're not always putting it like where you can, see the enemy and aggress and all of that. So sometimes, again, like those are the times, right? We've noticed Houdini where you've just kind of exploded because you had to push in front of Orisa shield, right? And same thing that just happened here. Like Sai put it down and was like, "Oh, I actually want to pressure them as they walk up, so I'm just gonna step in front and it's fine." And he instantly dies. So I mean, that's great. I've noticed a couple times that they like even their squishies. They like to step in front of shield, right? And try to get like some extra damage. So A, don't be a dummy and don't die to that extra damage. And B, catch them out of position. You can use your halts. This would be really great for that. Particularly with their squishies, it'll be harder against Orisa. But like, whenever you notice that and you're live, obviously in this case you're not, but in those situations, this is a great opportunity for you guys to halt them, and really follow up on that kill if you guys are like aware of those chances for that opportunity, right? That they're inevitably someone's gonna step in front of shield and you guys can just like pull them back and just focus the shit out of them, and that's an easy pick, right? Like every other fight, because they have a tendency to do that. They are very aggressive, but they don't always think.
And they just kind of do and hope it fucking works.
Yes. Okay, I want to see how you guys lose this. I'm sorry, I was talking. So, Sai feeds. Wonderful.
I know. I think I also know what happens is that both the DPS kind of go around.
Yeah. Okay, they bob.
The Ashe goes through the road.
Yeah.
You're right. And Bob was straight in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see Bob. Okay. And then we Flux. We just have 2 ults, and then, yeah, I mean, they use 3 here. Bob kills... How the fuck does that kill Jandros? Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, Houdini's not there.
I died last.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I get it, because they're, like, about to touch. Or they're about to get it, right? So, I understand, in that instance, like, it's Mantis's job to touch, right? And just kind of hold the line until, Horseman gets back, and then he can flux.
Thank you. I'm gonna change my name. I'm gonna change my name in the server. I'm gonna change the name of the server after this pod. Horseman.
Yeah. So I just ripped my. Hang on.
Confused your Andros. Now's the time to strike.
I really wanted it. And you know what? I actually remember this now because I see the mixes back. I really just.
Okay. Yeah. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so yeah, this is so winnable, and you guys just fed. So Mantis needed to touch. Everyone else was kind of pushed up too much. Like, our BAP shouldn't have to touch point, right? Like, Mantis should be touching right now, which means we, shouldn't be feeding. I mean, as Junkrat, I probably would have gone inside, much like their Ashe did, right? And I would make sure that's clear. Yeah, but, and I get that. I do understand, again, in these moments where, like, they're about to touch, everyone's freaking out about it. You guys are just, like, and even if you talk about it, like, is it possible to touch? Like, are we going for the touch? The answer is yes. All right, who's touching, right? Like, who can get there? And the first person, really, that you want there is a tank. And if a tank can't be there, then someone fast has to touch. But, like, you guys have to figure out ahead of time, like, who's doing it, right? If Orisa's dead and Sig's there, he has to touch. So that's just how it is.
I just talked with everyone literally 100 times. If a tank's alive, they throw it in and out. Once they're both dead, someone else take over. But
Yeah.
don't wait till we die. Wait till we get low. Because I always say, hey, I'm low. Someone touch because I know I'm gonna die, and it's safe. It's safer to like have two on point, but one's like full HP and one's like 1 HP, rather than someone dies and then they look where you're fucking coming from. Something like that. But yeah, it was just probably a bit of a panic, like trying to see if we could turn the tide, which is again fair, but
Yeah.
cost us.
Yes, but they did use a lot of ults for that, right?
I was just about to comment.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to supercharge. Yeah, awesome. You read my mind.
Sometimes they're not batteries to strawberry. I know what I'm doing sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, same thing with like what Psy's been doing. Like, I do think that Psy does a good job of like using it to stop or to keep their momentum and stop you guys' momentum, which I want to see more of. His is just like, you know, he's not getting max value out of it, whereas like your team needs to build ults, right? So like this is great value. Okay. All right, let's look at it. Interesting. Where the fuck is? Are you dead? When the fuck did you die? You.
He
Oh yeah. I forgot.
yeah, he went into a room
Yeah.
instead of coming back the
I mean,
rest of the team.
you're even.
I think it's more I think we weren't ready for them to bounce back because we were thinking they were just running off.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you're
then they-
even. They have no reason not to push. Okay, so y'all need to aggress here. Like, this is kind of my issue with this one a little bit. I think the supercharger needed to be a little bit further up, first of all, because you notice, like, as we're watching this fight, like, not everyone's getting hit by it as they try to aggress. Like, it's hitting everyone back here, but you can't all get value back here, right? Yeah, and especially like, I mean, you can have it occasionally out in the open, you know, if you just like sit on top of it and bodyguard it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I've had Arissa's that are so annoying. You know, I try to get in there and she just sits her fat cow ass on top of it and
Yeah,
fortifies
the
and
amount of divas that try and feed, trying to get my supercharger, and I just kill. I'm like, well, alright, thanks for the kill, buddy.
yeah. So I would have put it a little bit closer up. First of all, second of
Closer up,
all,
yeah.
I would have pushed. You know, like you guys are a little passive. You're also holding this back wall, right? Like both you and Mantis are like kind of shoving your bodies up against this wall, so you're not actually like doing your job, you know? Like you're still
Yeah, we need them out in the street.
Yeah.
So our squishies take that.
yeah, you can tell that your squishies aren't comfortable, right?
Yeah, because they wanna play behind you. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's an easy no.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
y'all just
here
needed to
is-
play like out a little bit more, you know, and take a little bit extra space so that like you're getting value out of supercharger. So Gojo has some space, you know, your Bat has some space, you know, etc. You stop them at the cart. I wanted to know. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track of everyone. Backed it up again. I don't know how Mantis dies there.
Window.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they flex and window.
They flux, and then when we drop down, they use window, and we don't have anything for it, so we all back up. But because Mentos is the furthest one up, he dies,
Yeah,
even with
yeah,
his kinetic. Like he absorbed some damage, but he's look. Once I was He's absorbs and just his health just goes bye bye. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. They use their ults well there. Yeah. This is just one of those moments where they had a lot of ults going into that, and they just used them very well. Do we have? No, we don't. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we needed to take space earlier.
Be more aggressive with it.
Be more
basically.
aggressive, especially when you're down ults, right? Like when they have more ult advantage than you guys. You need to hold ahead of.
They're gonna ult anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna ult anyway, so you want them, like, if you hold, like, this corner-ish, you know, I know that you guys got, like, kind of rolled on second point, so that's just something you have to keep in mind, and then you came back late, but, you know, typically, like, yeah, I mean, if you have the time, you want to hold here. If not, like, once you guys are here, and, you know, you use ults early, right, like, supercharge or whatever, to kind of, you know, get that back, you want to push, you know? Like, you want to get aggressive and make them use ults earlier, so even if they do kill you, like, you guys have time to contest. But y'all just kind of back up and slowly trickle and die, and they can just use ults and clean you guys.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
I know the map's not over, but I kind of wanted to ask, and I know you're not looking at individual, but what do you feel about my polls this game? Just wanted to kind of ask that.
That's why I brought it up, like, the way that I think that you could use it against this team. And I haven't been paying too much about the individual, like you said. But I think that they could be better. Like, I wish that you were taking more advantage of them being out of position, right? Or even, like, especially if you're gonna run, like, right now, it looks like you have an Ana. Like, whenever you do have, like, Orisa Sig and you're running an Ana, what's great, and this is something that you guys can work on together, is, like, if you just pull them above their shield, that's just, like, a really easy nade, right? So that's, like, a combo you can do, and then other than that, yeah, like, making sure, like, when they over-aggress, that you're pulling them back so you guys can ensure that you finish that kill. Like, you see this shield, right, that you just did on payload? I don't like this shield, because you have nowhere to push, you know? Like, you want to put Orisa's shield where you're going, so, you know, you have time to push up. Like, if you throw it up more, like, you can still use it, right, because you're just sitting here, and then you also have the Sig shield to put up there. You can still use it, because you're just walking, and then you can actually push up and, like, keep using it, right? Like, the payload's moving, and then, you know, you're just gonna have to, like, walk away from the shield, so.
Alright.
Oh my god. Fucking John just had his legs dangling over that edge for a second. Yeah, I will say I don't like the Ana pick. Vap's just better. And they... I mean, y'all have a very similar comp, and I genuinely think that it's partly because they have a Vap. They build their ults, and they build that window so egregiously quickly. And if you look at your ult charge, I mean, this is also the thing, is Dree kind of heal bots. So, I mean, if she wasn't heal botting so much, Gojo would probably have his ult, or Jondris would have more ult charge. Jondris, you had dick all for ult charge, by the way. So I don't know where your damage was. Yeah, but Dree, I noticed heal bots, and then Throne isn't getting enough ult charge. And so he's not getting any value, you know? their Mercy is like damage boosting more. And their BAP, I mean they're running BAP, so they have Immort and they have the burst heal and they have damage still. Like BAP's just a better call in double shield.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, I guess unless they really are trying to play for antis or play for nano, like Nano Blade, then typically just go for BAP. It's safer.
Yeah, and I mean like if you're running Brawl, right? Like if you're doing Rein Zarya or Rein Diva or whatever, you can do Ana. You can do like Ana Lucio, right? Like that's a great call. Like that's a great pick. But double shield, like BAP Mercy, BAP Zen, like occasionally BAP Brig, that's it. That's what you run. BAP is necessary. It's just how it is.
We're already together anyway, so BAP's AoE is gonna get a shit ton of
Yeah.
value, plus Lamp will save us when our shields are shit.
And I mean, it's really helpful, especially when you're playing against like other comps, right? Like if they're running dive or they're running brawl, for instance, and they're on you guys quickly. Like BAP just has more sustainability, you know, and he can keep like the double shield up. And also they against this team in particular, because they're gonna run a lot of junk, BAP becomes really necessary. Because BAP just kind of helps counter junk, right? Whereas Ana doesn't have like the same value. Not to mention like, you know, BAP can help break shields, right? With both window and just as primary. Ana isn't doing that. So you're missing out a lot of damage, especially because you haven't been running the Zen and your Mercy also heal bots. So like your guys' damage is just lower than theirs. Dree needs to damage boost more. I haven't told her that yet, but she does. So,
So get on it.
well, I have lots of things to do.
I know, I'm giving you shit because I can.
They use Immort really early there. Why?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Did someone get low?
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
But I also noticed that on their attack they run BAP Lucio for the double shield instead of like a Zen or a they
Well, I saw them do it. They did it on their
Oh.
first attack too.
Should have ran Reinhardt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ren would have been good. Oh, because like you're not.
Because we can't give him space.
Yeah, you can't give them space, and so having the cleave when you are like if you hold this corner, for instance, or the back corner would be nice. I do agree with that. Yeah, you are right, Houdini. Even on their actual attack, right, where they went the whole
They were
way, they
running
ran
Lucio.
Lucio. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
I understand why, because on well, if you run double shield, you typically run a Lucio for disengaging or to engage. So I understand why they're doing it. I just noticed that, well, because they're running a Lucio, they do have that less damage. And if we run again that Mercy Zen, with of course us damaging, of course,
You
we
mean
should
like Babson or Bat Mercy?
like Bap Zen or Bap Mercy, yeah, like again, like if we were again Mercy wasn't heal botting or we had a Zen, we should realistically be doing more damage.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
the thing
because I
was
bet
wondering.
you, and this is nothing against Helen, it's just tier 3 Lucios. I bet you that their Lucio's not putting out a shit ton of damage. So, you know, yeah.
You can't, you really can't anyway, because if Lucio speeds in by himself and he's feeding, because we have a junk Hanzo and double shield,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
has to play back.
Yeah, I get. Helen's accuracy on Lucio, 25%, 30 tops. I'm not joking. I don't know. I haven't seen her play Lucio. Like I haven't played with her in ages. But you know, the last time was probably months ago or something. That's what you told me,
Hmm.
and I believe it.
Yeah, I, Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. We should think about that. They do Bap Lucio on attack and come up with things for that.
I 100% guarantee you that they're gonna run me out there for the escort. Because we won last map, so they picked this up, and I guarantee you this is again every time we. We-
Destination.
Yeah. Yeah, every time we run reactive, I run double shield. So and if they, again, if they're gonna attack with a Lucio, we gotta keep that in mind.
Notice how Dree is only healing.
Yes.
Yes. So your DPS aren't getting value, or as much value.
Now, I know this is a little off topic, but I played Mercy last night, and I was pocketing Rex and Mantis, and the amount of times we would roll.
She doesn't
I think-
pocket people. She heal bots.
Yeah. You're lowering the effectiveness of your team because the other healer isn't getting the ult charge because she's already healed,
Yes.
and she's not getting ult charge for the DPS and tanks because she's not giving them extra damage.
Yes.
Mercy is what controls ult economy, if I'm correct here. Well,
Yeah.
not the only one, but like she can massively improve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that's what the point of her ult. Besides, obviously, I mean, like you can use it for healing, and it does good to like kind of mass heal people at times. But I mean, it's the damage boost. If you're not playing Mercy to damage boost, then don't play Mercy. Period. So yeah, I mean that is something I've noticed a lot, and it's an issue. Yeah. So anyway, that's first map. I told you it was gonna take 2 hours, Jontros.
Dude.
I'm ready when y'all are. If y'all gotta do it another day, we can. But I'm here. I got nothing to do. I have no friends. I'm kidding. I totally do. Somewhere.
I have something to
You
do. I
do?
would like to finish this talk. I do.
Do you?
Yes, I'm supposed to do movie night with Britt.
Oh, you're on a date? Nice.
No, it's not a date.
It's a date.
Okay. Well, we'll do it
My
tomorrow, then.
man.
Shut the fuck up. Stupid.